You're listening to the 605 Show with your hosts, Alana Snyder and B the Noble One.
That is correct. You are now rocking with the best.
Or the okayest.
No. We're the best. Okay. We still need that Addy. You're cheating us. Give us what we deserve. Anyway, it is the baddest podcast in the land, and it's a little bit different right now because we're coming to you a different way. It's the 605 Show brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Co. It is your favorite host, B the Noble One, and
Alana Snyder.
Listen, pay attention. Now you get to see our beautiful faces. Stay focused.
I showered for this.
That's good.
It's exciting
That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, that's how we're going to start. Alana showered. Big deal. Big news. Okay.
There should be a banner, but because now we have fancy stuff that can tell you that.
All right. We'll plug that one for the next segment.
True.
But we are excited because, again, we're just stepping it up in this time. Normally, you would just be hearing our voices and all of that, but we are here live and in color. Well, at least I'm in color. Full effect, doing our thing.
And you're drinking some Boulevard yourself.
Oh, I haven't started yet, but listen.
That's one of your favorite ones, Easy Sport.
It is. It is one of my favorites. First of all, it's got electrolytes.
Right.
So listen, you can drink this on a run. I don't know how good of an idea that is actually, but listen.
Or after a run.
Yeah.
I think that's like the point of it. Enjoy it after a good workout.
Right.
Whether that's just going upstairs or.
As it says here, clean, balanced, tangy. Now, sometimes when people put words on their products, they don't really match. In this particular case, they actually do match because it does taste clean. It does taste balanced. And just has just a little bit of tang.
And it gets you a little tips, eh?
It does get you a little tips. That's always the bonus.
Yeah. I have a space camper.
Drink responsibly.
Space camper over here.
Oh. Yeah,
it's a juicy hot blast is what this says.
I don't even know what to do with that.
It's a pale ale, and it's about to kick my ass, and I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, it's going down. Yeah. And of course, we have our friends, Biebs, Brian Bieber behind the ones and twos.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, there he is.
Hey, everybody.
Hold on, brother. Now, I'm super excited for this because people don't normally get to actually see the man behind the
magic.
The magic.
Yes. The editing. Usually the editing. Is this actually making you nervous, Brian, that we can't edit this?
No, it's making me happy because it's a lot more work actually on the front end, but I'm just gonna put this shit online later, and it's not my fault.
I love it.
It's not my fault anymore.
You're supposed to make it sound easy though. Oh, it was just a breeze. I just flipped some switches.
Yeah,
He was like, "Nah, this shit sucks." It actually took a lot of work, but it looks good. You look good. We're excited to see you, sir.
Are we going to see any weird things happening in your background?
Hey, who knows? The night is young, right?
It is.
Who knows?
Who knows? So we have some fun things coming up. First we're going to talk a little bit about road trips because it's the May road trip issue of 605 Magazine, 605magazine.com. Okay. But after that, we're going to have a host I'm really excited, or co-host, not co-host, guest that I'm excited about.
Normally
Andy Mosher, who goes by Cookie. You've met Cookie at the tourism conference.
Have met Cookie at the tourism conference.
Yes.
We was getting, listen, Pier gets litty sometimes.
It really does. So he is going to talk about some Deadwood Alive is the group he's part of it. They're the acting troupe that bring back Wild Bill Hickok and a bunch of characters that you see walking around. So he's going to give some updates on that. He's the executive director. But for now, we're just going to kind of talk about road trips. I've been on many road trips with you.
Yes, we have been on many road trips.
How much do you love it? 1 out of 10.
It depends on what point of the road trip.
Oh, yeah?
Beginning of the road trip, 10. 5 minutes in, 9. 2 hours in.
5 minutes.
It's a 6. On the way back, I want to kick her out of the car, but she's driving, so I can't. No.
I'm never driving at the end. Usually at the end, I'm tired or hungover, so I'm sleeping.
No, for sure. No, I love our road trips. Okay, but like most road trips, once you get into them for a while, you're in a confined space, like you're in a coffin with another human being. Maybe that's not the right
coffin.
Maybe that's the right term, not the right terminology to use. A small confined space with another person. Right.
Yeah.
Who gets to run the stereo or the music?
Which you never do because you're in the back.
Right.
Usually sleeping or pretending you can't hear us.
Yeah.
Because you always put your headphones on.
Well, keep in mind, like it's not usually just you and me. It's usually, a couple of the ladies from the office,
Right.
and sometimes I'm just not super invested in your conversations, and it just makes sense. I don't want to interrupt your time,
That's so
and
nice.
you don't want to be the person that's like sticking their head up through the seats, like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, right.
So I just throw on the headphones, sit back, relax, and I just try to get there.
My favorite though is whenever we stop at the gas stations, because you're always like super perplexed by like what they're offering. Like, what was it? A Cinnabon that had M&Ms on top of a Cinnabon, which is already a bajillion calories.
Yo, listen, I wanted to call the health department on that one. Like, I mean, like that. We're talking instant diabetes. Listen, how are you gonna have like already like a 1,800 calorie like full day intake Cinnabon, and then pack the top of that bad boy with many M&Ms?
Like a
what are you
bag
trying
full.
to do to people?
It's a lot.
Listen, look, I'm just gonna give them a tip. I used to live in a uncouth neighborhood where there were some people who were street pharmacists, and one thing I learned.
Wait, where are you from?
Buffalo, New York.
Oh, there's the first time.
Maybe you've heard that. But one thing you learn is you don't kill your customers. All right. So ease back. Let's break it down to maybe 1,500 calories and everything will be good.
Yeah. And like the gas stations these days are like mini malls sometimes.
They are. What's the one?
The one we went to with like the dog.
That one's crazy.
Yeah. I forget what, John, do you remember what it was called? There's like a dog mascot, and it was like a little town inside
really
of the gas station.
I think it had like a movie theater or something.
Yeah, I wanted to move in, actually. I don't know. I don't even remember what town. It was a random town too, I think. But anywho, what about you, Brian? Brian, how are you on road trips? What's your I feel like you just listen to podcasts and
Oh, Alana, I love a good road trip.
tell me about it.
Oh, I just get in the car and I get myself some snacks. And
What kind?
Big.
What is your favorite road trip snack?
White cheddar Cheetos. My favorite what?
Your favorite snack. What is your favorite road trip snack?
Favorite snack? Probably white cheddar Cheetos.
I dig that. They're strong.
So do you have wet wipes then in the car?
Yeah, we have a toddler, so we have wet wipes everywhere.
Perfect.
Everywhere in my life, I have wet wipes.
Smart. That's smart.
So, how about you, Alana? Do you like?
Well, thanks for asking, Brian. I actually love a good bag of Bugles.
Oh, old school. Do you still put them on your fingers?
No, what am I, 8? I'm a grown-ass adult. Yes, of course I do.
I was
Put them on
about to
my
say,
fingers.
you're eating Bugles. I mean,
yeah.
like,
Or John gets really mad when I'll stop at a gas station and I'll get Fritos and bean dip, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?"
yeah, that's aggressive. That's a strong move for a road trip. We did a spot. We stopped at a lovely Mexican restaurant, which is very good actually. They have a great bowl of meat, is what I call it. I don't know.
It's in Chamberlain.
Yeah, I don't know the official name, but it's a bowl with a bunch of meat.
Pablo.
Get that.
Mi Pablo.
Yeah. So, well, I mean the actual dish, but get that.
Oh, but the restaurant's called Mi Pablo.
That's good to know. Get that, and it's like a whole bowl of meat. It's delicious. Do that, but it is a bold move on a road trip.
It really was. We had like all the Mexican food, and that normally is like we should have worn diapers because that could have been.
It takes a left on you, you know.
It really does, really fast.
But we made it. You know, we got her done.
We did. No one had diarrhea.
Right now, I'm just looking at Brian. Normally, this is where Brian would be writing down times.
Part
where he would cut parts out. Can't do it now, guy.
Yeah. So, are you a driver, Brian, or are you a passenger typically?
Yeah, I usually am the driver.
See, of course you are. You're so polite and nice. And V here he gets sleepy, so he never ever drives.
Listen, put your life on the line if you want to, but what I'm telling you is after I'm on the road for like 30 minutes, it's a wrap. Like I get the slow blink.
Is it like stress sleep or
is it? No, it's like it's soothing sleep. I get like road hypnosis or whatever, and so when I'm on there, and just like, and I get that slow blink.
Good.
And then, fun fact, I fell asleep one time in my vehicle crashing into a bridge, and it blew up. And I don't mean like hyperbole blew up. I mean like Lethal Weapon blew up. Like I mean like the frame.
Did you walk away from it while it blew up like a movie?
It doesn't really work like that,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Interestingly enough. But yeah, the fire department had to come out, put foam. The burn mark was in the grass
Wow.
for like a year. It was intense. It was a whole thing. So sleep up. Don't let me drive.
Okay, so maybe I feel bad about that. Yeah, then
Right.
I guess it's fine.
Yeah. Ha ha ha.
It's fine.
Okay.
Now that we've made up.
First of all, let me just tell you this.
Oh,
This
God.
Easy Sport right here is 99 calories, ladies and gentlemen. And that's 4.5 grams. Okay. That's less than one of those little mini 100 packs that are almost goofy to eat because you don't get anything. You get a full can of booze.
Or sound like one of those little bitch drinks.
Exactly. These are so aggressive.
Just saying.
Listen, this is prime time. This is not for kids.
Okay, well, speaking of, we have the Boulevard logo up now. Should we do the live read while you're giving a pre-live read?
Well, I was just doing it like plug. Let's do the live read. Here
All
we
right, ready? We gotta get ready for this. Brian, are you ready?
There's no way that this can go right.
Yep, I'm ready. Wait. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Oh, I'm starting it.
Yes.
Yeah. You're the B, I'm the V.
I'm the A.
Boulevard Brewing Company knows that quarantine life can be quite boring and mundane.
That's why
There's a lag. There's a time.
Oh, hey, there's Todd from Boulevard right now.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Some style. That's why they've released 3 different mixed variety 12 packs that are bursting with flavors and can't wait to make their way to your fridge.
The Cosmic Mix pack offers Space Camper IPA along with 2 IPAs that are exclusive to this pack.
The Wheat Mix Pack offers our unfiltered wheat beer and then 2 varieties, one with a twist of kiwi, that sounds delicious, and one with the citrus kick of grapefruit.
And finally, we have our flashback, which carries 4 of our everyday favorite beers.
Because remember, stay
Stay
home.
home, stay safe,
and
and keep that fridge stocked.
I'm gonna be honest with
close.
you. That's not super poetic, right? Like I had a rhythm there. I don't know what that's called technically. I had a rhythm. It was like, stay home, stay safe, and keep that fridge stocked. It didn't quite roll off the tongue, but it makes a very good point. Listen right here. We got a flash pack right here, which is gonna have your Easy Sport. It's gonna have your Jam Band, and then that wheat that Todd just took.
And Space Camper.
And Space Camper. Is that in this one?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're right. You're so right.
I always am sometimes.
It's the first time for everything. But listen, great packs. Get these. Might as well get a variety. See which one hits you the best. And then, you can go ahead and stock up on that one. Just a little
Exactly.
tip for
And you know who stocked up? Our guest, Andy Cookie Mosher, who's in the waiting room.
Oh.
Hey,
Boulevard
you ready for
Oh,
that? I found out it's his favorite kind of beer is Boulevard.
It sure is. Love it.
It's so nice when you can promote your sponsors and not have to lie.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I literally was talking to him. I'm like, here's what's going to happen. We're sponsored by Boulevard. And he's like, excuse me, did you just say Boulevard?
Right.
It's like,
And
yes.
I like to be transparent because I'll lie about it. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I would lie if it wasn't good, but it just so happens it's actually good.
It really is. So, Andy, do you want me to call you Cookie?
Oh, you call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Oh,
Ooh. That
where
goes
are
way
you right
back.
now with Deadwood?
Where am I right now?
Yeah.
I am at the stage of the world famous trial of Jack McCall right here in downtown Deadwood.
Hello.
Oh, hot dang. And what's behind you?
Well, we're not quite set up yet. We're getting things rolling. Going to be moving things in here before long. We're going to try to start some of that stuff up Memorial Day weekend. I've got my buddy over here. I don't know if you can see him there or not, but that's a 6-gun Yoda. He's got his own little pistol. He's got a vest on there, cowboy hat, and maybe
he's
some
ready.
Mardi Gras
Oh, yeah.
beads too. Got a few things set up backstage here, getting ready to go for the show. Got our peddler's cart here. We're going to be rolling around town all summer long and doing all kinds of cool shows with. We just got it built and back in fashion. And a whole bunch of guns inside of it if you want to see them later.
I
sure.
definitely would.
I love the gun-toting Yoda. Because
Isn't that nice?
sometimes people don't appreciate the fact that lightsabers don't have range.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. I love
That
it.
is fantastic.
I love it.
If
Now, this
actually
was
we could just interview him,
before-
that'd be great.
What's that?
I said if we could just interview him, that'd be great. Thank you. That'd be
Okay, I'll just put him up here. He can talk to you the rest of the time.
okay. Thank you.
So get
No,
on out here to Deadwood.
So tell us a little bit about Deadwood Alive for people who don't know. I mean, like they obviously probably have seen you before, but tell them about what Deadwood Alive is.
Well, we're a nonprofit organization. Our job is to promote history and tourism in Deadwood. We do that in a ton of different ways. We do most notably the shootouts on the middle of Main Street that normally scare the bejesus out of people, and also the trial of Jack McCall. Throughout the day, we do 14 different shows, including killing Wild Bill Hickok 4 times a day down at the Saloon 10, 3 big shootouts. We play music, we play cards with kids, we do all kinds of stuff. And now we're going to be talking about the pre-1899 firearms in a new show and clothing from prior to 1890s. So that's a couple of new things we're adding. However, we don't exactly know how much of that we're going to be doing yet, but we're going to be doing a lot starting Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, that's exciting. How many people are in the troupe, or like, because that's a lot of different acts and everything.
We've got about 15 people that are members of the troupe, including the staff that run the stagecoach. We also have the Deadwood stage that will take you on a ride up and down Main Street. We've got the chuck wagon that passes out information and answers questions, as well as all of us actors and support people that set up and tear down and move things and keep traffic stopped and so forth. So there's about 15 of us.
That's crazy. So has it changed a lot? I saw you've been in it since 2010. Has the troupe like grown a lot with acts and different things since you started?
It sure has. The biggest thing is we've extended our season. We're doing a lot more shows. We should have started in mid-March doing weekend shows, but of course, we were unable to do that with all of this brouhaha going on. So
Right.
we've extended seasons. We do a lot more shows. We extended our main season late into the fall. We go about 94 days of main season every year, and then about 18 weekends before and after that main season in the shoulder months. So we've really expanded the amount of time and the number of people that have to do it.
That's crazy.
So do you ever want to shoot somebody else besides Wild Bill? Seems like he gets shot a lot.
If you can mix up history.
Well, I really can't say that, but every once in a while there is an occasional person, but I wouldn't want to say exactly who that is. They might be watching.
Right. I mean, if they were able to get up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. You know, it would be nice, but they tell us we got to be historical about it and not hysterical. So we're kind of, yeah.
First of all, that's a great picture, by the way.
Yeah, look at that sexy guy right there in the middle.
You guys look cool as hell.
Yeah, you're the executive director, so you're like the boss.
Yeah, I didn't pick that spot. They made me stand in the middle of the people that were taking the photos.
Yeah,
so.
sure. Okay,
Yeah,
bro, whatever.
And I love me some Calamity. Is Calamity still around, that actress?
She is around. We'll see what happens with the season, and then we'll hopefully get her back out on the street doing more stuff with us this year.
Yeah, you
Awesome.
all are so fun to be around. Like we were blessed to be next to you guys during the tourism conference, because I feel like, I don't know if that was great that we were all together, or like the rest of the tourism people hated it because we were all so loud. But
Probably a little bit of both, but it needed a little energy, and I'm glad we brought it. I have a question for you. What is your favorite Western themed movie? Now, I'm a Tombstone guy. That's my personal favorite, but I always want to know the people who are actually doing the thing that are in the history. What is your favorite movie? And which one do you feel like is probably portrayed the best?
Well, I think I am really an outlaw Josie Wales kind of guy.
Okay.
I think that is quite possibly one of the best Westerns ever made. And I think they really made it wonderfully. He's very human, but still a little superhuman in the end.
Yeah. I mean, they're normally a little superhuman. You know, Tombstone.
I love Tombstone.
I love it.
It's
I'm your
so good.
Huckleberry. It's
So
just
good.
it has so many good one-liners. I don't know if they had that good of one-liners back then.
I would sure like to hope so, because that's another one of my favorites, and I can probably go line for line with you for the whole movie if you want.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
Now, because I wouldn't suspect people in that time were well read. Maybe I could be wrong, but it just seems like the commentary from that time, all of the stuff that they said was so cool.
That's very true.
Yeah,
You guys, I sense a movie night with you too.
I think so.
V and cookie night.
I think so.
Oh man,
He'll bring the popcorn, or you'll bring your what do you play? Guitar and banjo?
guitar, banjo, harmonica, juice harp. I can't play any of them worth a darn, but I have a lot of fun.
Did you bring any of them?
I got some here in my pocket. I always got something with me.
Hey,
Could you give us a little bit?
That's about as good as that gets.
That was beautiful.
no, but that's good to be able to pull out. That's like having a magic trick. You know, it's nice if you bump into some nice young ladies at a party or whatever. You pull that out, do a little whatever that was. And
Well, I tell you, that's the way to pick up girls right there is to play juice harp. That really gets them.
oh, for sure. I can imagine.
Panty dropper.
You know,
I tell you. Also, that made Brian giggle when he played that, and that just made my whole day.
because that's another point where he would be writing down notes. Oh, you're gonna edit this out. I love it.
Okay, so one thing I haven't experienced that I thought was cool is, do you still do the Lawman's Patrol?
Yes, we do. We do that walking tour. We're going to be doing that 6 days a week as well this year instead of just 3. It's a lot of fun.
And you're the first marshal? Is that you doing it still?
Well, I'm going to be doing it part of the time. I've got a couple of new guys that are going to be doing it with me. I've got a Seth Bullock this year.
Ooh, is he hot?
Doing it as well. Well, I don't know. I'm a dude. I'm not supposed to say, am I?
Oh, say you weren't. Would you think would you do it?
Moving right along.
All right, I'll get to it.
It's about an hour-long tour, and we go down through Main Street and we talk about basically you're a new person in town. Here's what you need to do to not get taken advantage of and not get dead.
Oh man,
yeah,
That's good to know.
what are some of the biggest mistakes people would make to get dead?
turn their back on somebody, trust somebody, flash your money around. Not good ideas back in the 1870s Deadwood era.
Or with my ex-wife.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. She might be watching this too.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Right, guys?
Right.
right. Hey, don't put me in this, bro.
Oh man. So talk about a little bit about the new presentations you were referencing.
Yeah, we're going to be doing one called Gold Guns and Grub Steak. What a great name. Huh? It's all about pre-1899 firearms. We're going to start clear back in the trapper days in the 1700s, showing you different pistols and rifles and shotguns and flintlocks and cap and ball pistols, all the way up through relatively modern stuff about the turn of the century. We're going to do it in a series of 3 or 4 different shows, so each day you get a different era. Along with that, on that same day, we're going to do a different show showing the clothing of that era. We're going to dress one of our guys up and have him parade around wearing what they might have been wearing at that time frame. Gives you a pretty good insight into what it was really like.
And then you said you're going to carry all that stuff in what's the wagon again?
This is our peddler's cart. We were lucky enough to get some grants this year to help pay for some things. Black Hills Shootist Association gave us a bunch of money. Black Hills and Badlands is going to give us some. We've got a South Dakota Humanities Discussion Grant is helping to pay for materials and insight in how to do this whole thing. So we were lucky enough to get the materials, and I built this cart from scratch. Other than the wheels, we bought those, and then we put a gun crate on top of it. We can lock our guns up when we're going down the street. We can have clothing from it. The whole works. We can store things in here. Well, I got a hat and a pair of shoes in there, and more Boulevard. But
Yes, I like
we
that
won't be
setup.
doing that out on the street. We don't drink when there's kids around. That's not part of our job.
I feel you.
I mean, you can put it in another cup. They don't have to know that you're drinking. I mean, that's an age. I'm sure they were doing that even back
Like
then.
a flask or something.
That's not a bad idea. And with social distancing, they might not smell the alcohol.
See what I'm saying?
Very true, because
See what I'm saying?
safety precautions.
I'm not.
I'll tell you what, I'll run that by the board of directors and the mayor, and then I'll get back to you.
I don't know that I would say it like that. I would just let them know, hey, I'm gonna be drinking from this flask. It's not historically accurate, but I mean, I think it'll be okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Are there any
It'll make
guns
the
in there?
performance is better. I mean, think about it. If we're going to be historically accurate, what are the chances that they were out there having a shootout with no booze in them?
Oh, most likely they were smoked to the gills with booze. Yeah.
So if you're going to be historical and not hysterical, you got to be moved up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to accidentally shoot one of my friends for real.
Why not go
Okay, that's a good point. Fair point. Fair point.
True.
Fair point.
No, so are there guns in the wagon?
Oh, yeah, there's a few in there. You want to see something?
Of course I do.
Would love to.
All right, let me see what I can find. I'll probably get out of frame for a second.
Oh,
No,
you're
you're
going to
fine.
be all right. We're going to just take this break to have a drink right now. Remember, I'm eating this easy drinking. It's easy sport.
I'm gonna eat the boulevard.
It's not chunky. It's actually pretty smooth. So I'm just drinking some easy sport here. It's the Rally Ale.
Oh my!
Get back in the game.
Oh, that's another boulevard. God, good job, Brian. That was beautiful.
There we go. There we go. We got a firearm.
You can't even fit the frame.
All right.
Yeah.
Got ourselves an octagon barrel rifle right there. I can't tell you exactly what model that is, but it's cap and ball. You pull it back, you put a cap on there, it fires it. It's a muzzle loader. Let me see what else I got here.
What was like the time, like if you missed? It just seems like that's a cumbersome process. Like there's a lot going on there.
Well, like these muzzle loaders, if you were really, really good, you might get 3 shots off a minute.
Oh,
but
wow.
You got to be really good.
So all you got to do is really zig or zag. How did anyone actually die back then?
By being unlucky.
I get it.
By trusting people.
and also syphilis.
Well,
syphilis was a bitch.
But that's why they shot everybody in the back, because if they knew you were shooting at them, there was no way you were going to hit them.
That is true.
And at 3 bullets a minute, like they're in another county by the time you reload.
I just realized me and Cookie are kind of matching with our bandanas.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you got to have one of those in case somebody.
Oh yeah, yep. And then
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. What do you got
an
there?
old flintlock in here that'll actually fire. However, I'm not going to do that right now. That's from the 1700s era.
That's
it
a muzzle.
actually is a functioning replica.
So that's a muzzle load too?
What's that? Oh yeah. That takes forever. It takes a long time to get it loaded and get it functioning. It may take longer than that rifle I just showed you.
Oh wow.
You actually load the powder and the ball in, and then you have to put a little powder in the pan and pull the hammer back, and then it strikes flint and steel and lights that powder, and it goes inside. So you don't want to be doing that in the rain. It's not going to work very well.
Oh wow. You're gonna have to really catch somebody in a conversation or something like that. They're gonna have to be distracted.
Yeah. Look, Tom Cruise. Yeah. While they're looking to shoot him.
Wait. Yeah.
man, do you have to drink a lot of coffee to like be ready for like a million gunfights a day? Because I feel like that takes a lot of energy.
It does take a lot of energy, but it's really a lot of fun. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think guns bring it out of you. I mean, if you just like
That's true.
shoot people and they get the, and
Especially
they
when
get
you're gonna
up.
shoot him in the back. Ha!
Yeah, and like they get up, so like you can sleep well at night and all of that, knowing that you just shot like 15 people during the day. I think it's a win for everybody.
Like I fake killed so many people today. And it was so great. So Cookie, could you in character tell me what you're most excited about post-pandemic?
Well, the thing I'm most excited about is to get down there into the gambling halls and them upstairs ladies. I got to get down there and visit some of them. They had all us folks during this pandemic out there stuck in the pest tent. We couldn't have any visitors. And the only person coming out there was Calamity Jane. And boy, I tell you, she ain't much of a woman. She's pretty tough. She ain't much of a girly girl. So I want to get downtown, get down to them brothels down there in the Badlands of Deadwood and get upstairs, see some of them gals. We're going to have some fun.
Woo! I do not. I hope there are no cameras.
First of all, at that time, like a pandemic wouldn't have stopped nothing. Because you want to know what a pandemic was? Everything.
It was called Deadwood probably back in the day.
Everything, like
or as Brian said, syphilis.
You know what I mean? Like
back then.
What was the lifespan? Like 32? something like that. so I'm pretty
So you gotta
sure
live what you gotta live.
You gotta live. You just gotta live your life.
That's very true. Well, I have a couple more questions for you, but first, I want to get to Brian and V's favorite part.
Terrible game.
And that's where I have a game.
Uh-oh.
What's it called?
Did you bring? Okay, so the game is called Cookie and Milk.
Hold on, full stop. Brian, that was one of the most glorious things I have ever set my eyes upon.
That should have gotten an Addy.
Give it up for Brian. We want the Addy. Give it up.
Give it.
That was beautiful.
First of all, listen, almost all your games have terrible names to them. This one among them. But because Brian did that whole little piece, I respect it. Let's continue.
Okay, yeah, so you have your cookies and milk?
Yes, I do. And I brought double stuff because I think that's fitting for me.
Fantastic. Well, Cookie, I'm going to ask you certain questions. And if you don't know or don't want to answer, simply dip your cookie into your milk and take a bite. Otherwise, tell us your thoughts.
All right.
You ready?
I am ready.
Okay, what's one of the craziest things that's happened with a spectator of a Deadwood Alive act, and what happened?
Well, I got a good one for that one. It's kind of, I don't know if it's kind of typical for Deadwood, but it's kind of fitting. We were doing a shootout at the 2:00 location, 2:00 in the afternoon, mind you. We're on the street. We're swearing in little kids as deputies. We've got our barricades out, our traffic cones, people guarding both ends of the area. And a gentleman, I don't know if gentleman's a correct word, rides his motorcycle right through the show. Luckily, there was a police officer standing by, stopped the guy. He was so drunk he didn't even know what was going on and why there was so much stuff out in the street.
Oh,
You know, the funny thing is when you were telling that story, I was kind of half listening, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I just heard, hold on, I was getting into my Easy Sport from Boulevard, no disrespect. But what happened is that I thought you said we were just swearing at kids. And I was like, you're swearing at kids and you can't drink?
No.
Swearing in young people as deputies.
Now I get it. Makes sense. I brought it back.
Okay, so
just being vocal.
Your group spends a lot of time together, it seems. What three biggest pet peeves do you have with troop members?
And give their name. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna watch this.
Oh, yep. Delicious.
First of all, eating a double stuffed cookie is not, a good deterrent for not telling the truth.
I mean, it's still having a good time, I've eaten a lot of Oreos during this time.
Right.
Have you ever accidentally forgotten a date or a fact during a tour or acting scene?
Practically every day.
What do you do?
Well, that's why I have an assistant director that's about 20 years younger than I am. He can remember most everything, and I just turn around and go, Ty? And he knows the answer.
Line.
What's a common thing you hear from people in the crowd that gets old? And what's a common thing that happens from a crowd member that you love too?
Something that kind of gets old is you get the same question. Where was Wild Bill shot? It's pretty obvious, and everybody in town talks about it. But we generally just say in the back of the head, and we move right along.
It's like that one kid in class that didn't pay attention.
Wow.
I'm telling you. What's a big reason you would break character?
For safety. If somebody's doing something that's unsafe, I will break character every time to make sure I get their attention. But other times it's kind of fun to break character for a laugh. And I do that quite often.
I have a question.
Oh.
Where was Wild Bill Hickok shot?
Oh my God.
In the back of the head, and I'm going to have some more cookie anyway.
What's a historical fact or tale that many people don't actually know that you know?
I got cookie in my mouth now.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, just finish the cookie.
Okay, most people think that Calamity Jane had something to do with Wild Bill Hickok, that they were a couple, that they might have had a child together, even married. That is not the case. Wild Bill was actually married to a lady who actually owned a circus, and he came to Deadwood to try to make a little money to support his new bride, who he had just returned from whisking her off to beautiful Cincinnati for their honeymoon. After that, he returned to Cheyenne and came up here to Deadwood. Now, Calamity Jane, when she died, she said, "Bury me next to the only man I ever loved, old Wild Bill." Well, everybody knew that he didn't love her, but they buried her there anyway, and he would roll over in his grave if he knew Calamity Jane was right next to him. Regardless, she was a good person, helped a lot of folks. She was pretty rough and tough, though.
You know, that's interesting. I've never heard that before. Beautiful Cincinnati.
Yes.
I've never heard that phrase ever. Shout out to Cincinnati. I'm just joking.
Oh my God.
That's interesting. That's a very interesting fact.
It really is.
I did think, I don't know what I thought, but they're just always kind of.
I feel like I knew she like was thirsty for him. I feel like I knew that, but I knew he didn't. He didn't touch that.
Stiff armed her
because she didn't bathe. I don't think very much.
Yeah,
so.
I don't. Did any at that time?
I mean, you got a bath once in a while, right? Did you? Did you
once a month?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So it's very haunted there. Have you ever had, or do you know someone who's had like a haunted experience?
Practically everybody in town has had a haunted experience, including me. One of the most notable ones I was involved in, we were rehearsing down at the Bullock Hotel back in Bully's Restaurant one day. They allowed us to go in there and use that on off days, to get ready for our shows. And we were drinking a root beer. Yes, it was a root beer. I wish it would have been a Boulevard, but we were on the clock, so we couldn't. Drinking root beer is sitting in the middle of the table for a half an hour while we were rehearsing. All of a sudden, it shot off that table, crashed on the carpet, and exploded. Nobody knows why. It shouldn't have broken on the carpet anyway. But we just attributed it to old Seth Bullock telling us it was time to have rehearsal over with.
Yeah, the Bullock Hotel is legit, like terrifying. I stayed there. I mean, it's great to stay at. Go stay at the Bullock, but if you might have a guest.
I mean, like, is that a reason to leave work? Like, can you use that? Like, it was haunted. There was a ghost in here.
I had to go. The ghost stuff at me again.
I had to leave. So,
okay, I'm really excited about the next one. So, do Deadwood Alive troop members get groupies, and do they have social media? And if so, do people drop in their DMs? Okay.
Yes. I don't know if you would call it groupies. We get fans, and we hear a lot from you. You're posting things every once in a while on it. Yeah, we do. We do a lot of videos on Facebook Live, especially through Trial of Jack McCall. Each of us generally have our own Facebook. We end up having a pretty good following from time to time. We get regulars that come every summer just to see us do the shows, which is kind of interesting to me. And we even have to sign autographs from time to time.
Well, do you ever get like drunk girls? They're like, "What are you doing later, Wild Bill?"
Yeah, we do get that. And that, can I go back to that pet peeve thing again? That drives us nuts. We can't drink while we're working, and really drunk, obnoxious people annoy the heck out of us while we're working.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. Because what's terrible is, number one, being sober around drunk people, and then having to be in character sober around drunk people. That has to be the worst.
Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and
while politely declining alcohol being thrown at you constantly.
Right.
Because everyone's like,
bro, shoot me, bro.
I'm guilty of it. The first tourism conference, I'm like, Calamity, drink with me. And she was like, thank you much, but I can't.
You sounded just like her.
Hire me. I told you gotta let me do it for like an afternoon. So, I'm ready. Let's see here. Well, I think that's all I have. So you only had one cookie or two cookies. Did you have two cookies?
Well, I think I volunteered a couple of them in there somewhere.
Yeah. No big deal.
And as my games go, there's no winning or losing. It just was a game, ?
It's just random.
It's It's just stuff.
You get used to it, audience. You'll get used to it. It's just random.
Oh, okay. So before we end here with the interview, I want to ask about something I'm very excited about. So you have really exciting things happening. Outlaw Square is new to Deadwood. And then there is going to be, I don't know if you know about this. Okay.
Talk to me.
A brothel tour is opening this summer.
Hello, Purple Door. Is that it?
Oh, well, it's like that's one of them, I'm sure. But like it's an actual, like they're building like where there were old brothels and giving people tours of it. But Cookie, give us the gas.
Well, that one is put on by Deadwood History Inc. They run the museums here in town. They are remodeling and rebuilding an actual brothel down in the Deadwood Badlands. And they are going to take you through tours there, tell you all about it. People will be dressed in costume. Don't get your hopes up. They weren't all that revealing back then. Showing ankle was a little too much. But anyway, not in the brothels. They showed a lot. One way or another, they had to show it to get their work done. But
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But it's going to be really exciting. They're going to be doing that during the summer. It's down in the Deadwood Badlands. If you know where the Mineral Palace is, it's going to be right across the street there.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. We're going to have tickets available down at the stage stop where we load the stagecoach up. You can also get them online, I believe, through Black Hill Central Reservations. And there's all kinds of websites you can check out to find out this information. For that, it would be deadwoodhistory.com. And you can find out anything you need to know about what's going on with their museums and that brothel tour.
Well, I would assume that we're going to have to do a story on this and visit it for journalistic purposes.
Yeah, I was going to say, shout out to Rose from Deadwood History. She already said we can go do a story on it. So,
I mean, you know.
Got to check out some brothels.
I just want to bring people the information. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to highlight these different situations.
No matter how juicy it is.
I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Okay?
Story, I mean.
I'm for the people.
Yes. Brian, how you doing?
There's a lot of innuendo in this show. There's a lot of... Are you okay?
I'm doing great.
I just want to make sure.
Are you feeling calm about it, or are you like itching to like edit point this?
Yeah.
No, there's no point.
Right. There's no coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
No coming back.
But lastly, though, Outlaw Square. So kind of touch on that for people who want to visit Deadwood this summer.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because we just had a meeting talking about all of our shows that we're going to do this summer. And with all the social distancing and the new rules and everything, it looks like the Outlaw Square is going to be where we're doing a lot of them initially until they relax some of these rules. Now, the Outlaw Square is a brand new facility built right downtown Deadwood. If you're familiar with where the Franklin Hotel is, right across the street from it. Giant stage, got a big grassy lawn out there. There's a great place to watch everything from. They had planned lots of music and entertainment and so forth going on there already, but of course they're not able to. Starting Memorial Day weekend, we're going to be up there doing stuff at least for about a month anyway. And if things get released and we can get back out onto other spots on the street, we're going to do that. But come up and check it out. And that's outlawsquare.com.
Look at you.
Yeah. Just nailed it.
Just knowing where to do it.
Just nailed it.
Well, thank you so much. This was so fun. Can you let us know, too, for Deadwood Alive and for all the things that you all are involved in? What are good websites and things to follow?
Well, first of all, if you want to know what is open and what is happening in Deadwood, go to deadwood.com as a Chamber of Commerce website. They will actually list on there when each business is opening up from this shutdown, so you can get that kind of information, as well as any events going on. Now, our website is deadwoodalive.com, and that will get you updated with everything that we're doing and or not doing at the moment, and we'll have continuous updates on there. Perfect.
Well, hey, cheers. Let's cheers on Boulevard. Because now I moved on to the jam band, Jerry Ale. Barry Ale.
I'm on a jam band as well. It's juicy. It's berry.
Hey,
it's trio.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, that didn't work. All right, let's do it again. Here we go. There we go. Cheers. There we go. Jam Bam. We appreciate you coming on and hanging with us. And
we'll probably see you soon.
First of all, good on you for mixing beer, milk, and double stuffed Oreos. There's a lot going on there right now. We appreciate you taking one for the team.
Take some Tums.
We'll
talk to you soon, Cookie.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Be safe.
You too.
Listen, two things. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, tourism, all of those other type of things. Obviously, we know what's going on right now. These things are taking a hit. So whether locally or in any way that you can support any of these type of things. So go on these different websites. If there's things that you love when you normally can engage with them, go on there, donate a little bit of money, engage with them in any way you can, get some of the memorabilia, any of those type of things. Make sure you support these endeavors. These things are really important to what goes on in the state of South Dakota. And if you are listening anywhere else, make sure you are doing the same for your state and your community. We need you. Second thing, Boulevard Jam Band. This is tasty right here. I'm digging this. Every once in a while, you got to switch it up. It has some blueberry, it has some red raspberry, and it has some cherry in it. So easy sport after you had something happening. A little bit something right here.
Have a little flash pack.
Clean, refreshing. Get the flash pack.
Get the flash pack.
All of those. Anyway, you know the deal.
Yeah, and to go back to that, though, like I was really lucky to be able to do our 605 road trip. That's in the May issue of 605 Magazine, 605magazine.com. But in all seriousness, though, like it was really fun, and I always love road trips all around the state. And so check travelsouthdakota.com for South Dakota updates on tourism, and just check with local chambers to see what's open and what's not. Because, yeah, they really do need support. We need to keep them open, and as soon as they can open up, obviously as safe as you can, support them. So.
Listen, when this thing opens up as safely and as intelligently as possible, travel your ass off. Move around, go enjoy some things. I know I don't have to tell y'all. I know y'all want to get out the house anyway. Some of y'all. But do that. Make sure you're supporting everybody, engaging, doing whatever you can to make sure we keep this thing rolling.
Exactamo. I tried to do something in French and that didn't work.
Like sometimes it just does the work by itself. Like I don't even have to take a shot at it. Brian,
just so you know, we cut out like for a second. You cut out when you were saying everything after travel your ass off to Alana did something in French, I guess.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, thank God.
It's probably
if it actually did cut out, then that's good.
It's probably good that it cut out.
Alana, do you want to try to speak French again?
Yeah, please.
Exactement.
That sounds not French at all.
C'est incroyable. I know. I took French, and they're like, my teacher would make fun of me, and she was like, "You sound Russian."
That was so accurate.
I got a C. A low. So she gave me like a C enough to get me out of there because she was like, "You need to leave."
I mean, that's a tradition.
We're done.
Just passing kids on. Get out of my class.
Please just move
yes.
along.
I probably got a few grades I didn't deserve.
Well, guys, I like this. This was fun.
Isn't it? I like seeing everyone. I like being able to engage in a different way. We hope you like it. We love to hear if you did like it.
We got to be in Deadwood.
In Deadwood. So drop us a line, okay? Because we want to bring this flavor to you. And of course, we got to thank our sponsor, Boulevard Brewing Co., for being a great sponsor, supporting us in what it is that we do. And we thank you, all the people out there that are watching us and engaging with us, doing what we do. Make sure you like and share, follow 605 Magazine if you do not currently, to make sure you guys are on the list when this stuff drops.
And you can subscribe. You can like actually still do the podcast, like just listening too, right?
All that. So you can still listen to it. So if you're driving, go ahead and listen to it. You know, if you want to live dangerously,
subscribe.
I guess you could watch it and drive at the same time, but I wouldn't. Anyway, this is a great way for us to bring it to you. We hope you enjoy it. Make sure you guys follow us in every opportunity that you can. As always, it is your favorite host, V the Noble One, and
Alana Snyder.
And then we got our man behind the wheels of steels making it happen.
Brian
Give it up for Brian Beebs. And another shout out over here to our guy on this end, Dan Card, aka ID Card, making sure we look good on this side of it.
He's just really silent but attractive and just there, you know.
He is there, but what he's not is stealthy. He's been walking around, so if you hear people cricking all over the place, he's not very stealthy. So I will say that. But anyway, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
On the flip side.
Deuces.
You are now rocking with the You are now. You're rocking with the best. You are now. Rocking with the rock. You are now. Rocking with the best.
Boom.
Yeah.